Hey guys, back with you again to show you guys something in mathematics, right? Mathematics, economy, all that stuff. First thing we're going to show you today is regular basic decimal mathematics, right? Different decimals, right? First decimal we're going to be starting off with is a simple decimal, 0.6. We adding decimals, or like 0.7, and then if you do the math, carry it over, this is 13, carry it over, it's 1.3, right? But as you can see, they get more developed the farther we go. 1.76 plus 1.005. Usually people would either put an X here, but some people put a 0. Sorry. That's how it works, right? This would just be a 5. Here would be a 6. Here would be a 7. Here would be a 2. And then you have your answer of this. Now, the more money sort of thing is a double digit. Now, this is just the adding, right? You've done the adding. Now it's time to subtract decimals. Subtract simple decimals. That's a 3. No, that's a 6. Subtracting decimals is very similar to what you do. It's 3, like 0.3. Subtracting higher, bigger decimals, though, is harder, right? But usually what I do myself is this sort of mathematics. If you can understand this, sure, great. Let's just screen this over here. Hopefully you understand. In the description, I'll be putting some equations down if you guys want, so you guys can learn more about this. This is just mathematics I'm showing you. Later on, we'll do an economics course or something about economics. I have a book with me right here about economics. So if you're going to take a read, yeah, I suggest reading that. It's a good read. Now, next, I'm going to, hopefully once you've mastered the other topics, we're going to do multiplication. Simple multiplication of decimals, like this. That's like 12. Then, right, usually you'd have like 12 here, and then you'd do the math. You'd obviously put this here. You don't need to align the numbers around here, so you don't need to align them. And don't forget about putting decimals here, though. But I usually just do it due to, now since there's a 0 there, no real math is needed in this section. Yeah, so the answer is 1.2, but yeah. Time to go to even more complex decimals. The more complex decimals. Yeah, that's a problem. So this is the multiplication I'm doing. I'm just gonna forget. I'm just gonna forget about what we did here, right? Just forget, right? Now this will be 13. That will just be 1 there, and this will be a 6. Now we cross that out. We put 3. That's a 21. Put a 2 up here. If you multiply by 3 over here, that would just lead to a 2. Over here, that'd be a 3. And then you add it up. This is what you're going to get. Plus your 2 decimals. Well, not your 2 decimals, but your 4 decimals. And you'll get this as an answer. But now it's time to show you the one concept that nobody wants to learn. And it's division of decimals. I draw my, let's say you have 1 here, but then you have 5.5, right? we obviously do this. That equals a 0. We put a 5 here. But then the decimal doesn't get moved at all. It just stays in its position. Most of the time, people like move it up to here. I personally moved this, right? Moved it down. And once I move it down, what I do, that this is 0.5, right? But the 5 is here, so it's 5. It's 5.5. That's what some people might think division of decimals works, but no, that's not actually how it works. Division of decimals, I'm not going to show you in this video currently, as that's a subject I don't want to talk about, as it's something you rarely will use. If you do, it's obviously different. Normal division of things is easy, like this sort of thing. And decimals is kind of like base 10, where you have your little blocks, your sticks, and then your big gigantic things. Base 10 sort of. Now, this is the math I'm showing you. This is the decimals, but now we can talk about money. Money, economics, all that stuff. This is why you need a calculator. Calculators, this isn't a scientific calculator, so it's just a normal one. We have the tax rates here, which is a nice thing to have. Tax rates really helps getting tax. I'll show you how tax works. Decimals you need for taxes, right, and like money in general. It relies on a decimal point with 2 numbers here, and like x here, and then xx. X equals unknown, right? It's like kind of like algebra. I've described it here, but it's not algebra. It's obviously not algebra. Now, let's say we have $10, but the person has $10. He decides to, like this is how much he earns in a year. Let's say this is a really poor region of the earth, and his taxes are at 10%, right? 10% tax. If we take our calculator, right? Take our friendly little calculator over here, plus CA. Oh, we have to go into tax rate. Right, I'm going to put it up here so you can see, right? Maybe. I'll put it up here. So then we first click enter, go to tax rate, we clear, well not clear, so you retype in your tax rate, which is 10%, and press equals, then when you go back to tax rate, it's 10. So then you take your $10, put the tax on it, and it's 11. Okay, so that means the tax, this is like income tax or whatever, taxes, right? Now, tax I put on this is sort of like income tax, where the amount of income has like some specific tax. And so I'll be adding like $1 for your income tax or whatever. This is sort of like how, this is how some sort of abstract tax could be made if a government doesn't have enough money, and you just do that. But yeah, I doubt anyone in a developed country like the US will be earning $10 on average. Now, if I look into the economics book right here, I've found a page where it talks about inflation. Inflation is a really big thing, right? Now, that's obviously another piece in economics, but let me show you a few taxes. So we have regular tax, which is a general subject. Then you have different taxes, like sales tax. Then we have just like water tax. Then there's like a tea tax that Britain used, and we all know how that ended up for Britain. It's like all sorts of abstract taxes, tariffs, all that. Another thing decimals are used for are fractions. let's say this is a quarter. This is decimal 25, this one piece. And you just add it up until it's one whole. Yeah, that's a big improvement on fractions. So basically it's fractions. Then the next level up is decimals, right? And decimals are always used. Fractions rarely used in economics, if ever. Now, sure, I might not be the best person at economics. I'm just showing you guys decimals and how it relates, right? Abstract theory here. I put in like taxes and stuff, abstract taxes, and then showing you relationships between them. I'm not valid economist. I'm just showing you how maybe an abstract tax could be made or whatever, and like what types of taxes there are and stuff like that. I'm just trying to correlate decimals, right? Correlate them with other things, right? Correlate decimals with other things that we could relate to. Now, let's talk about inflation, right? Inflation, that's something people don't really talk about in economics or talking with money, right? Let's say a hypothetical government has each one of these things equals $1, right? $3. If they print out double of these $3, it's just half, 50% of its value, right? It's like double. Now, obviously, in real life economies, this isn't going to happen. It's just going to be a slower process. Like, if you do like 1 USD and one, let's say, currency here, over time, if this currency doesn't print as much, it stays at 1, but the US dollar, in its conversion rate to US 99, it's going to slowly go down due to inflation and stuff. Now, that's like sort of economics rules and stuff. Inflation, it's not going to go as fast as I wrote here. It's just, it devalues the currency. The more money you print, like let's say this much money, the more of you print equals less value, which is bad. Now, this is economics. I'm not going to fully show you. It's just principles that people forget about. And obviously decimals also tie into this. Like this is how much, right? Decimals tie into a lot of stuff in economics. But I'm going to stop talking about economics as that I went to a long so yeah. But economics is something you guys shouldn't get tips from me, though. I'm just telling you things that I know about economics, like inflation, which we all know, and history, which I'm quite fond of. Germany before World War II had a lot of money, and that isn't good. I'm also developing a communism series, right, where we fix communism, right? We fix it equals fix communism. N equals solution. Our solution, I'll be doing in a later video, where we fix communism. And the communism we use is Marxism. Basically, the communism in the Communist Manifesto. Communist Manifesto has a lot of economic theories in it, right? Economics really does tie into that as well, as he had to actually know things about economics to do things about that. Now, if you ever did talk about economics, there's a lot of rules, but I'm going to end that. I'm just showing you what I'm going to be doing. Now, this is basically what decimals are. In reality, though, decimals aren't as simple as people like them to be or want them to be. I've mostly just made connections to things I know about, but I don't want to, don't use this. I'm just giving examples. If you literally don't use this as some sort of economic theory thing for the last time, the economic theories that I'm using here are just principles in economics. And that isn't the best thing to use. The point I'm getting at is this is just showing you concepts of economics and isn't showing you everything and what you should do in economics. I'm just showing you things about it that could be important. Now, the solution to Marxism is a rambling one. I'm going to be rebuilding a society in my colony just to simulate how the economics work in it. It's good for doing that, but I also will have my own calculations based on mathematics in there. And I might fix democracy, capitalism, all that. Because I do not support communism. I don't support any other extremist or non-extremist sort of political theory. And the only one I do support is democracy, as I see that, though it's a flawed system, depending on where you are, it still works and is probably the best system to live under, as most likely you are living under that. And if you live in a monarchy, most likely the monarchy has very little to no power. Unless you're in Liechtenstein, which has power, but I don't think they exercise it, from what I know. Anyways, a simple summary. I'm going to give a simple summary by just summarizing everything else, besides economic stuff. I'm just going to use simple numbers for just for simplicity, right? This isn't simple numbers at all. This is what we learned about this. This is another thing we learned. And this is also another thing we learned, right? Hopefully this helps clear things out for you in mathematics and stuff like that, for knowing about abstract theories and stuff. I highly recommend you try to learn this. Multiplication. I want to just show you how division actually works, long division, rather than I didn't show you the right way. But I'll show you how long division actually works. So you draw one of these, the division symbol. I'll draw a better one right here. Now, I'm just going to do it simply, right? So we're going to have a number that can be divided, right? Or the division symbol, let's just say it'll be divided by 2. This number can be divided by 2, and that number is 95. This, how many times can 2 go into here? 4 times, right? So then you do 2 times 4 equals 8, that's less. So you subtract this by 8, which is just 1. The amount of times you've multiplied to get here, you put on top. Then you bring down one number, and then you do the same method. And this will, it took 7 2's to get here, and that'd make 14. That'd also be a 1, right? Once you're done, though, and once you're at the end of where the numbers are, that's when you put a decimal. This 1 will get a 0 from nowhere, because there's nothing here, the 0 will come. And here, it can evenly be put in, and it's 47.5. Hopefully that helps you in long division, which is an abstract topic, which is used in a lot of things. So hopefully that helps. I will do something about division and multiplication in themselves later on. But hopefully this helps clear things about decimals, which really do go hand in hand with what do you call it? Division again. So hopefully you guys have learned something, and will pay attention to more economics theories and mathematic formulas later on. Hopefully you guys have a nice day. But before I say goodbye, I need you guys to know what you need to actually do these things on paper. for economics and whatnot, calculator, but since that's only for economics and nothing else. And then something to write with, preferably not a pen, a pencil, so you can actually erase your mistakes. I'm just doing it here because I can, and I know what I'm doing. And if I do need to do something else, I'll just take my white out. And anyways, guys, have a nice day. Hope you guys had the best day. Peace out.